Hello everyone and welcome to yet another commentary video here on this Pokey YouTube channel of mine. As you may have noticed, I've moved the camera a bit here. This cord is actually for my headphones that I'm often wearing because my mic actually hangs above my head and off to the side here. Any which way, it's that time of the year where I start thinking about, okay, what games do I want to add to the, what I like to call the tour list. It's the list of games that I finished in terms of, get the game, play the game, finish the game, get to the end credit sequence, then I throw it on the tour list. And this year alone, up to this point, we have finished 57 games, with the last one I'm considering finished to be Fallout 76. My justification on that is that I reached 1,000 gamer score on it. And that is a game that has no official ending. It's an open world, endless game. So there's that. But still. So what games could we possibly add to that tour list? And well, I've already made the determination to one. That being Game of Thrones, a Telltale series. Yes, I'm a big fan of what Telltale games did. I played a lot of them before through Steam, and I managed to snag a few of them for the Xbox One, so I have like the full season past this in my collection, so we can go through, grab those, get those achievements, boost the gamer score, and all that jazz, and so forth. So and I want to spread that over 2 weeks. This Tuesday, tomorrow, the 29th, and next Tuesday, the 7th. So first 3 episodes this week, remaining 3 episodes, the following episodes 4, 5, and 6 next week. Of course, we have Persona 4 Dancing All Night. That we started last week, and potentially I'll consider that game finished when we get through the story mode aspect of it, and depending on how much grinding is really needed to unlock everything, I'll make a judgment call in that. One thing I noticed with Persona 4 Dancing All Night in comparison to the Persona 3 and Persona 5 dancing games is that P4D is a lot more grind heavy. So it would be a question in terms of doing everything for the completion aspect of it. I did consider Persona 3 and Persona 4 dancing to be finished once we got through Elizabeth, Caroline, and Justine's 8th bond link conversation. So, because that was the story aspect of those particular games. So with Persona 4 Dancing All Night, I will consider it finished when we complete the story. And I am going to spread that story out because of the more visual novel aspect of it. With kind of like what I established this past Friday, is do one full chapter, then do some free dancing, then do another free chapter, do some dancing and grinding, and so forth. So we'll be able to get multiple streams out of it. Matter of fact, we got 3 to 4 streams out of the other Persona dancing games. Easy for me to say. So there's that particular things to look forward to as far as I'm concerned. Tonight, again, November 28th, at the time of this recording, we will be starting Pokemon Violet over on my Twitch channel. I highly doubt I will actually be able to finish this before the end of the year. I know it took me 5 streams to get through Pokemon Shield, but the difference with that was I was playing that a lot off stream back in 2020, a lot during the day because work was kind of weird for me. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I did play a little bit of that off stream. I forget how many individual streams that took, but I do know I was grinding a lot in that particular game, and also it had the advantage of the candy boost with the number of Pokemon that you were turning in. Pokemon which one? Shining Pearl. Or did I have Brilliant Diamond? I forget which one I have. One of those ones. I know that one took. I played exclusively on stream, and that took a while. And not to mention the extra week, the extra stream that was needed just to get through the bullshit that was the Elite Four and final regional champion in that game. So, but of course, Pokemon Violet has its problems that has been well publicized since it's released. That while it's overly ambitious, it's the first open world Pokemon game. The Legends of Arceus was more open zone, so a clear comparison from what I understand is comparing that to Sonic Frontiers in terms of, okay, you have individual areas you kind of like are locked into. It's open explorer in those areas, but this one is a lot more ambitious and apparently pushes the Switch to its limits. But again, I don't think we'll be finishing this before the end of the year. For certain, even though it will require a lot of off-stream grinding, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to throw myself fully into off-stream grinding for Pokemon Violet. What else we got? Considerations here. That's about it in that regard. But looking ahead to 2023, I do know I will be doing another run of Mass Effect, the 360 version, the Xbox 360 version of Mass Effect, because there are achievements and stuff in that game, multiple playthroughs. As folks know, with the original version of Mass Effect, regardless if it was PC, Xbox 360, or I think the PS3 version had the same setup, is that you have to do multiple playthroughs where you play the majority of the campaign with various characters. And so I have that, and not to mention the achievements associated with certain character traits. Now, why won't I do this with the Legendary Edition version? Well, because a lot of those achievements were done in one playthrough on the Legendary Edition. So, but just gotta consider if I'm gonna go Engineer or Sentinel or Biotic or Adept. I think it's what it is, because I normally play the Soldier class in the Mass Effect games, and because I kind of build around that with whatever squad mates I take on any particular mission. So there's that thing. So when we would start that would probably be right after we finish Pokemon Violet, whenever that may be. There's also the fact that the Persona games are circling back to that. I know sometime next year, we probably as soon as we finish Persona 4 Dancing All Night, Fridays will end up being dedicated to Persona 5 Royale on the Xbox consoles, because I played it on the PS4 earlier this year. So getting back to Persona 5, and I also want to get into Persona 4 Arena Ultramax. I'm looking to probably have that to be a Tuesday night game, which will start that after the 2 weeks dedicated to a Game of Thrones, a Telltale series. So, because that Ultramax is locked to the PS4, I'm not going to concern myself with online matches. I want to get through the story of that, arcade runs, and whatever trophies we can get out of that. I mean, PlayStation trophies are kind of like bottom tier to me. They are garbage tier, to say the least. But that's just my opinion there. So that's kind of all that's on my mind at this exact moment. So on that note, if you got any game recommendations or so forth, just leave them in the comments section below. Who knows, maybe stuff that's in my collection that I have not played yet and so forth. So with that said, we'll see you over on my Twitch channel, and maybe we'll talk to you next week. That is, assuming I come up with something to talk about. Have a good one, folks.